The Boyhood of the Magi, Tales of Zoomi, The Boat Trip. The day was sprightly, fresh, and clear, a day for frolic and for cheer. Nor unseemly chores to intrude upon the hour, long interludes designed by Mearns as the fodder and canon of their lives. Putting aside all stresses and shoulds, the motley bands throughout all villages of the lands esteemed the days for glorious worship of the gifts surrounding, choosing praises and gashes of joy to elevate each day above the last. To the boats, I challenge you youngsters to fall upon the moat and sing happiness to speed your friends and to contest the stream. Our armada is afloat. Mers was waving hurrahs and generally piercing the air with his enthusiasms. Hi-ho, brup, we-he, get up, Magi. These chirpings accompanied the rush of the excited Mearns, and with them the high-pitched, throat-singing ululations, which survived to later centuries among these birthing lands. No more exotic sound ever flinged itself across the continents of earth. The notes carried mystery and expectation, carrying sentiments, even without words, without thought, flowing straight from the inner being and launched upon the air. With these piercing praises were fluted notes, sitars threading through drums, cymbals, tinklings and throbbings of many sorts. For Mearns were always upon the flow of events, making music to celebrate their goings forth, their risings, their settings, their every trip into joy or sorrow. A joyful day to sing and play, good tidings among our comradeship, and ship we will and will to spill our day upon the flowing rip. Song came easily to the Mearns, and rhyming too, for their hearts were ever full of merriment and a flowing out gratitude to their fellows. The boats themselves were lovely to behold. Broad, bright colors, largely spent in brightness, splashed upon the thwarts and keel, mast, wheels, planks, and tow. It was as if their joys streamed forth and dashed themselves sacrificially, splaying pigments on every implement. In those days the boats were round-bellied, tubby, with prow and stern, curving scimitars. The wind was down, so they rowed noisily, darting from each inlet and cove upon the great river called Euphrates. Always a commotion played upon their decks, and sails flapped their happy leanings, billowing joy, serenity, peace. These Mearns of yore were not bored, they were not lost, hunted, nor exfoliated from within. They were solid like their boats, useful, friendly, ready to put to water for the occasion. A boat full of Mearns was a sight, a fable, a rollicking song, a fragrance. And so our Mearns played a sally upon the stream. The occasion was... What was the occasion? It never mattered. The same delighted drive was given to hunts, to battles, journeys, forays, processions, retreats, and to dispossessed, dreamy wanderings. This was of that last sort, though an adventure was hoped for, readied, envisioned. In the fixed eye of a Mearn, the prophesied image often became the reality, for they were masters of the completed inner voyage, a convergence of fantasy, prophecy, anticipation, willing hearts, and blessing. Most notably blessing, as they were steadfast in their obedience and love for Elohim. Mearns were brought to a knowledgeable tangle of faith and obedience and faith, neither preceding the other, but wrapped tightly as a strong rope. A lace of power to do good and to avoid evil. They were worded and molded to a consistent community and fellowship. They were an unassailable army, for they had the truth and they clung to it with fervor. We shall have many occasions to ruminate upon the strength of this mix, and perhaps to remonstrate with ourselves of our poorly designed personal bastions against evil things. Hoist the sails, me hearties, for the breeze blesses our trip. We together influence the day to propel our prospects. Mers was already sputtering profundities on a shortly embarked excursion. A flurry of willing action followed these notes. Where are we going? Said Shaki. Well, we are simply going. This is all one of any occasion has knowledge. For one's prospects are unprophesied, though they are known of one who is God, and he who truly knows and ordains, knows truly that our fear of the unknown would disable us, said Mers. How did we come to deep waters so quickly? A sarcastic, shallow thought from Shaki, grandson to Mers. Oh, you are right, my lovely, from Mers recovering. No need for fathomed soundings on so skimmed a day. They were skimming speedily and whitening the playful waters off the boat. I want to fish, Mers, to catch a fish, said Zoomi. Capital, we shall angle for brightlies and nourish our bellies, said Mers. Can we eat them too, Mers? Well, that's what I said Mers. Oh, Zoomi was happy now, anticipating. Though no longer a child, he carried the child knowledge of the magic of the fish hunt. The mystery continued in him of the patient longing, wondering. What wonder would arise a wriggling from an unseen terrace, a bright, flashing gift to leap out and give him pleasure. He numbered his adventures of this wise, happily wriggling his nose to see in memory a multicolored gems frolic forth from their fathoms. A familiar quirk of this same Zoomi was to lightly cusp his hands, place his index knuckles between nose and upper lip, and flutter his nostrils in fish-like openings, but mechanically twitching his lip and nose like an excited rabbit. This he did when excited, which of course was always, for he was a child like Mern, the happiest sort imagined. He was happy to be the grandson of Mers, who was so wise, so kind. Shall I be the first to capture one? Shall I? Said Zoomi. If I remember aright, the fishes decide, not I, said Mers. But haply your desire will bring your wish, and you shall be the first. Mers felt comfortable with this pronouncement, as he knew that fervency oft brings fulfillment. Shall we cause our boat to stop so that we don't outrun them, asked Zoomi. They are quite able enough to keep up with our boat, Mers assured him. So you say. I believe you, Mers. Let's stop here just so the slow ones can have a chance, Zoomi reasoned. So we shall, said Mers. We shall douse our puffing sail and throw over our iron into the pool behind the sandbar. They are swimming close together and ready there for the feast, our feast. Other craft sailed on, but that of Mers and Zoomi loitered at the shore, expecting. The expectancy was not long to fruition, as the light bamboo pole held by Zoomi bent down, causing him to want to flutter his nose, though to do so would be to drop his hold on it and abandon his captive. He clung to his mission, and soon a lovely fish sparkling lay on the deck of their boat. I was the first, Mers. I captured him, said Zoomi. I am glad, my friend, so glad for you. It happies me more than my own fortune, said Mers. Look, Mers, inside of him, something sparkling, said Zoomi. All of a fish sparkles, my boy. They are scaled and watery, all painted a shimmer, said Mers. Believing wise Mers, trusting, yet he saw what he saw, and dipped his pronged fingers into the fish's belly, and pulled forth a shining gold coin. I told you, Mers, look, a coin. Perhaps an ancient one from a treasure, said Zoomi. You are right, my friend. It is a coin, and ancient indeed. Let us look at its inscription. Well, well, its ciphers predate the language of our time and place. You have fished out a mystery, said Mers. What could it mean, said Zoomi, this coin? It could mean many things, a coin in the belly of a fish. Perhaps it is not an accident. Fish are not known to hunger for great gain, and to spend it would be a trick indeed for a fish. No, I am inclined to suppose that it was brought here to us by this fish, specifically to us at this time and at this place and in this time. Maybe it is a key which unlocks the future, enabling us to thwart the doomful glimmerings which are portent all about us. Yes, Zoomi, I believe your finding of this coin signifies and signs the beginning of a great quest. And who knows where it will lead us and to what adventures. But of course I do not feel qualified to subsume all its potentialities to myself. We must hurry our return and place our knowledge before the elders this night. Come, my friend, let us hasten. And Mers busied himself with their leaving to go, his heart unaccountably fluttering, his mind flung far ahead to another time. What wonders ahead? Upon the shore, and too tired to return that night to the village of Shalil, the Merns built a bright fire and nestled themselves. But Mers had other ideas. From time immemorial, the campfire had been a place for visions and for resolute plans. Crackled sharp the lazy midnight fire. Round it hunched the sillying Merns, awash in darkness and in orange leaping glows. Oh, slappy happiness of tumbling comrades, prevail, prevail over all cares and wash clean the frothing dissensions of the ending day. These blessed nights saw ever and anon the baptizing, friendly, flaming tongues which licked the rounded countenances to a slurpy goofiness of laughter and goodwill. Gift us with a song, young Shasha. You always joy to see the rising moon fill the notch between the towering baobab trees. This from Mers. Thing, a thong, Mers, Zoomi chirped. Okay. I love to sing. I will sing. I'm ready to sing. Shasha babbled. Well, thing then. Yes, I shall. Tra-la, the moon it larks, the sun it beams, the beams they sun. This with tossing the head from side to side. Away with care, the world is sharp, the heart is bare. We sing and harp, we leave the lair of all that comes to spoil our fare. The mountains soar and soar to mount, the waters roar, the roars rain fount. Away with care. Clap, hooray, yoodle doodle, hurrah, salut, brava. Yes, my lovely, joyous one, you have the gift, said Mers. I feel my cares take heel and flee. What else prevails to heal our souls this night? I have a riddle, spoke Shaki. A riddle, we know, we have answer for it, a gaggle of Merns. Shaki frowned. I have yet to tell the riddle. Oh, yes, tell it, the gaggle said. Well then, tell me your answer, and I'll prepare for it a riddle. Shaki again. But we don't have an answer. You said you did. Now the commotion grew. The pleasant young Merns were discombobulated. Is that fair to make us give answer to the unspoken riddle? Confusion. Zoomi jumped in with the save. I have anther. An anther. They all turned. What's your answer? Shaki stared. My answer is wibble wobble. Yes, wibble wobble, that's our answers, the Merns all cried with glee, glad to be out of the corner. Okay, wibble wobble. Zoomi spoke slowly, giving himself time to think. The riddle is, when you were a widow, needing help to piddle, they all began to giggle, and couldn't wait or one, so hungry but so sleepy, you couldn't eat your porridge. You grew up to stretch your legs, to run, to fly, to play. You but found yourself to be stuck on W. And when you tried to walk, you could only wibble wobble, they thundered together in a great spume of discovery. Wibble wobble. Yay, we got the answer, wibble wobble. What do you mean you got the answer? Shakiz turned to Spume. You started with the answer. Oh, yes, we forgot. Excellent, Shaki. Most excellent, your riddle. It was always difficult to keep the fellows down. They rode the crest of every wave. They were strung like beads together in fellowship and love. Their good humor grew contagion. Impossible it was to be in their midst and carry burden. A larking spirit sprited in their midst. Bars of harmony hung phrased above their corporate heads. A joy to see were they. So now we have a song and a riddle, and excellent both. Most excellent, as you say, said Mers. Shall we to bed, or is there else to say? The moon now rose to its heightened orbit, even spurted a few degrees when it beheld the lovely circle of friends below. We forget the enchanted look of a far-off frieze. So often are we myopied to our close encounterings. We lose perspective of the view slightly above, beyond the clamor. I had a dream. Who saith so, said Mers, looking for the small voice which braved the night. It was I, Shishin. I had the dream. Hooray, a dream, the excited circle said. Tell us then, young Shishin, what was your dream? Mers the elder queried. I sailed upon a widened water. My drift was hastened, not touching upon the wavy foam. There was a whiteness, brightness, I was hugged by it. Serene to see, careened, escarped upon a rolling broil. Unscathed, my youthness felt fresh, newborn. Above me, dark skirmishes prevailed the sky, rumblings, lightnings, bleak darkness. Yet around my craft, the brightened skein, Scylla and Charybdis impinged my pathway, but stayed their measure. Hardly noticing, I darted through their shadows. Next, Leviathan exuberated upon the heading of my tack, blocking all advance. Onward I sailed, skimming the foam over his urgent dive to nether depths, streaking armadas of winged tormentors, then arrowed the skies around my craft, but none found the mark. Their shrieking was tempered and damped, no sound intruding. Neither did I quaver or waver, stammer my eye. Then cleared I all these impediments, and directly I entered a bevy of likely escorted vessels, calmly escorting. My serenity joining theirs, I enveloped. Shishin sighed, shivered, stayed. Wise Mers, what say you on my dream? Let me once contemplate. A moment passes. Yes, I see it. You have a vast innocence. No worldly or otherworldly power has prevailed against it. Thus Leviathan, shrieking, fouled fowls, great rocks. And now you are joined with your community in a likeness of innocence, strongly betwined. There is no great danger for you. We Merns observe the lurking fortitudes which impel themselves upon the universal societies, but we are not of it. There is much to tell you of these things, but let this night, this dream, stand only as a start. I shall muse with my contemporaries, elders, to find how best to treat these subjects now illuminating themselves among our fellowship. We shall anon. Be it known among all dimensions that these broached treaties shall be heard in their due course.